Guys, this is Mulgrath from UAD Airsoft. This is going to be my new series about sniping tactics, and the first part about this series is going to be about apparel and equipment. You're going to want to start off with, obviously, your BDUs as your base layer, unless you have thermals or Under Armour. You're going to want to match your BDUs to the environment you're playing in. If you're playing in a CQB, I find it doesn't matter as much if you're playing in urban, maybe some cases. But as far as if you play in the woodland area, like I do and the rest of my team, and a lot of people here in New Jersey play in a woodland area, you're going to want to have a BDU that kind of matches it. That's either going to be Tiger, Woodland, OD, single dark colors, multicam obviously, maybe even Partisan. There's a lot of different kind of camos out there, but what I personally use that you guys can actually get is pretty affordable, just like any other BDU anyway, is the OD Olive Drab. It's a flat, dull color. It's a nice dark shade of green. It isn't too light, so it doesn't stick out like any kind of, there's no patterns on it whatsoever. You guys can look it up. It's a great thing to use because it actually goes in pretty well with the actual colorization of real actual foliage and plants and trees and anything kind of like that. As far as that goes, you can use ghillie suits. I touched over the BDUs, ponchos, full body gear, full body cover I should actually say. They're all great things that's going to break up that human complexion is what you're going to want to get rid of, because if you look at somebody from 100 feet away and you can see the body standing up, head, shoulders and everything, it's obviously to spot out. Even if you're trying to lay down, you can see that head poking up, so you're going to want to try to break that complexion and look down. As far as that goes, with your head, speaking of which, any kind of headwear, whether it's going to be a hat like this, a watch cap, ranger's hat, boonie hat, helmet. If you're gonna wear nothing but goggles, something you're gonna want to understand about goggles, that some of them, if you're in the light, it does actually give off a shine. And if any of you guys have ever played Call of Duty and you see the enemy snipers, they always give off that kind of scope shine when you're actually trying to find them. And it sounds silly enough, but that actually happens to people's lenses in their goggles, and it happens all the time. I find it happening in a lot of the clear goggles, so I try to avoid them even though I use them sometimes. Always trying to stay out of any kind of light areas is what's going to give you the best kind of cover, because any gear you're wearing, no matter what, as soon as you're in the light, you're easy to see. So it's just something you kind of want to remember. I'm going to touch into that with movement and hiding and concealment skills in another part of the series. As far as that goes, as I was saying about headgear, boonie hats you can easily ghillie up with the little loops. You can put foliage through it. You could toss netting over a helmet. You could use a helmet cover. You can get plenty of good ones from e-bike, Airsoft GI, Airsoft Megastore, any place like that you guys can look into. You can get a lot of rifle wraps. I'm not going to get into weapons right now because that's not what this series is about right now. I'm trying to stay specific as I possibly can. If you're going to spray paint any of your gear, whether it is, unfortunately, a gun that I'm talking about now, either a gun, or if you're going to be spray painting a helmet, any crazy sounds, BDUs, chest rigs, your binoculars, rifle stands, spotting scopes, anything that you're going to use. And if you're going to want to spray paint it, you're going to want to also stay away from any of those colors that you have to actually look for. Any colors that are actually light and bright. Obviously you're not going to go spray paint your equipment bright red or bright orange to go play airsoft. You're going to want to spray paint something with an ultra flat cover. I use the Rust-Oleum camouflage. It's the 2X double cover, ultra flat. I have brown, green, tan, and black. It all uses really well, so I don't even have to actually use a flat ending or a flat primer or anything to kind of leave it. What you are going to notice, and you probably might get freaked out about if you're spray painting for the first time, your gun's going to look really shiny when it's done with all your coating. That's going to happen because of all the sunlight coming onto it, and it winds up staying a flat color. As you guys have seen from Instagram or any of the pictures, a lot of anything that I spray paint does wind up having a very flat color, and if you shine a light on it, you're not going to get that gleam off of it. So you're going to want to make sure you remember that. Like I said, you're going to... if I touch on this, you're going to want to break any kind of visual of the human body as possible. You can look 100 feet away, you could see somebody wearing any kind of gear they're wearing with a vest, a helmet, and you're going to see that head, you're going to recognize the shoulders. You know, everybody has seen people their entire life, I should say. That sounded weird. Everybody has seen people, they see how they walk, how they talk, how they move. You're going to recognize it's somebody moving. You're going to see someone laying down, you're going to see their shoulders, you're going to mainly see their shoulders and their head. As a sniper, you're going to want to make sure that you break up that composition and complexion of the human body and figure so you can actually kind of conceal yourself a little bit better. Some other things You're going to want to stay out of light areas. Like I said, it's going to give off your position easily. You're going to be spotted easily. No matter what you're wearing, like I said, you're going to get seen. You're going to want to use surrounding foliage to make your apparel more natural and blend in 100% more. Now, what I mean about that, if you have a concealment vest, a poncho, even if you're wearing a vest, a helmet, boonie hat, like I said, you could take apparel and use a rubber band, or even take netting and put it on your equipment for temporarily, or rifle wraps, or any kind of veils or tapes or anything. You can use that to actually kind of get rid of that gun look. Like if you look at this, it's easy to spot, but if you wrap this up in all camo stuff, it's not going to look as easy to look for that, you know, that rifle kind of look or any kind of gun look. Or they're going to be looking for a helmet, and then all of a sudden they're going to just see a bush, and the next thing they know they're dead. And that's kind of what you want to aim for. You want to kind of stay for that low profile, kind of sneaking around kind of thing. You're going to want to be able to get to a good position, you know, get your gun out, get that good shot, and get out of there, or camp, or anything you have to possibly do. Again, using actual real foliage and vegetation is the best way to conceal yourself. I don't care what anyone says. You can go buy a fake ghillie suit, but anything, above all, I should say, anything, nothing will beat a real, actually legitimate, 100% full vegetated ghillie suit. And I'll show you guys a video of that come spring. Right now there's snow everywhere, so it's kind of hard to do. But come spring, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And just some things that you're going to want to keep in mind is just that, you got to think about, you know, buying $100 worth of a ghillie suit or equipment to think that you're going to be hidden. Most of the time, a lot of people think that they're completely invisible with the ghillie suit, but it's also how you use it. I mean, if you're walking around in a ghillie suit, you're just as easy to see, because you're going to see, oh my god, there's a big-ass bush boogie walking around, you think it's Sasquatch. You're going to want to really realize that you're still easy to see. It's just some things I'll get into more as far as that goes. Again, real vegetation, you could just go roll around in the bush or have someone help you out and just take rubber bands, put them on your BDUs or your hats or anything, and put as much vegetation as possible. Make sure you're going to move it around a lot, different kind of angles and stuff, because nature isn't perfect. It's not all growing up perfectly. It's all side, bent down, everything. So you want to make sure you kind of go around that. As far as that goes, you want to see how the vegetation is growing in your environment where you're playing, because that's also a big factor around it. Figuring that out will also allow you to see about how you can build your gear towards that and kind of go around that route. As far as equipment goes and ammunition and stuff like that, I'm going to get into now. You're going to want to bring a good amount of ammo, little as possible. Now, it sounds weird. You want to bring a good amount, but as little as possible. So you're going to want to, I mean, with a sniper, this one, I'm only getting 25 rounds in each mag. I have 2 of them, so in total that's 50. That's 50 shots, and you're not sitting there just constantly, you know, going at it with this thing constantly like an AEG or semi-automatic. You're actually going to be taking your shots one at a time. You know, one shot, one kill status. That's how you're going to want to go about this. Bringing a good amount means getting maybe at least 2 or 3 speed loaders that are full. If they do get moved, try to put something in there like newspaper. They say newspaper, or put something in there to actually stop the BBs from bouncing around. Running around with bottles of BBs is an absolute big no. It makes way too much noise. It's like running around with a high cap in your gun. All you hear is the BBs bouncing around. It makes way too much noise. Again, you're going to want to bring extra CO2 for your pistols, extra ammo for your pistols. You know, good holsters will hold those. Again, you're going to want to just kind of keep a lightweight kind of apparel going, a lightweight outfit, I should say. It makes things a lot easier for you to be able to move around a lot more quicker. You can maneuver a lot easier rather than having a vest and having all these plate carriers and having all this stuff on you. Even some things I find with ghillie suits, they're actually a real pain in that some areas you'll go through a bush and all of a sudden you're stuck on about 3 different branches, especially prickers or anything, and you're always going to get snagged. So just remember, they're not perfect. They are great for concealment, but if you're crawling through a bush, anything that you crawl through is most likely going to get stuck on you, and you can wind up getting stuck, getting yourself poked in the eye. It happens all the time to everybody. You just kind of want to remember those things while you're going through these kinds of areas. If you're comfortable with it, you actually can go around using 3 guns as an airsoft sniper. Obviously, you're going to have a primary. This is your primary gun. This is going to be your rifle. You're going to love it. You're going to use it. Then you can have 2 different kinds of secondaries. The way I see it, this is my primary. My secondary is my shotgun. Now, normally I don't have a sling on this guy. It does have the sling adapters, but I don't need it because I'm going to always have it on me and going to be using it as my main weapon. I do have a shotgun slung on my back, so if I do get into any kind of closer to medium range kind of areas, then I'm going to use that. And then on my upper thigh, I have my holster with my pistol in it, my CO2 pistol, my new Smith & Wesson M40, right there with me. So if you're comfortable with having 3 guns, then go for it. But if you want to stay and be able to move around and kind of keep that low profile and lightweight thing, don't worry about 3 guns. That's just kind of something I do, not all the time I should say, but sometimes. Other things that you should have as a sniper is binoculars, a spotting scope, and again, as far as those go, they help you spot and recon and support your team, letting them know where the enemies are, where they could be, areas to scan and be careful through. It's a great thing rather than taking your primary. I mean, if you're ready to go and shoot with it, that's fine, and you can just use this as an actual reconnaissance kind of equipment, which is true. But again, having binoculars or a spotting scope, again, you have to worry about that gleam in the light. You're going to want to, put a rubber band about it and throw around some brush and foliage around it, kind of gun tape, ghillie wrap, anything you want to do. Depending on the weather, you're going to want to wear what is going to work best for you in that scenario. If you're playing in the winter like right now, I'm hoping you guys are wearing thermals, fur-lined boots, wool socks, dry, waterproof, insulated boots. You're going to be wanting to wear anything that's going to keep your hands dry, your feet dry, your face warm and dry, your head safe, and because it's going to hurt if you get shot in the cold. It always does. But if you're playing in a warm area in the summer, excuse me, if you're playing in a warm area in the summer, you're going to want to keep that lightweight thing, lightweight kind of apparel about you. Loadout, you should say. Keeping cool and dry is one of the most important things. Is running around sweating sucks, but it's going to happen. Once that starts happening, you're going to get mosquitoes, and something I'm going to go about is when you're sitting there camping for, minutes on hours or anything, and you're sniping, the most annoying thing is having a mosquito just constantly flying around your head. So a lot of bug spray is what you're going to want to bring with you, insect repellent bands, anything that's going to keep you. Don't be carrying around a citronella candle because you're going to light the woods on fire and it's not going to be helpful. But, it's the little things that you actually need to remember to actually kind of help you out while bringing stuff to an airsoft game, especially when you're sniping. You don't, to recap, you don't want to have a lot of equipment. You don't want to be too much. You don't want to start the game, go to move, and fall over because you're way too much stuff. You're going to obviously want to carry a lot around of snacks with you just in case if you need to get, a little boost of calcium or protein or any kind of energy, sugar levels, a lot of water. As a sniper, depending on what kind of gameplay you play, you might be moving around a lot, or you might just be camping. So there's just some things I wanted to touch on for this first part of my video series for sniper tactics on part 1. I do aim to keep these short. This is pretty much just about a 13-minute video now. I wanted to keep them short, but I guess starting off, you kind of got to cover a lot of things and giving you guys easy ways to remember things and things to know. You can also watch these videos as many times as you guys want, if you even do. So I hope this was informative for you guys. I hope you guys like this series. Some other couple sneak peeks on some series I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be releasing on Instagram at UAD Airsoft if you guys don't follow me already. It's going to be sniper tactics with movement, concealment, the weapons you're going to be using, different kind of patterns and camouflage, different kind of equipment and loadouts, what you're going to be wearing for different kinds of player areas like CQB. I mean, you're not going to be sniping as much as a CQB. Maybe like an urban or a field or a long range or extra long range. You kind of just got to remember those things. So hope that was kind of informative. Just remember those different kind of parts I'm going to be showing you guys, and let me know which ones you want to see first. If there's anything you guys want to add on or anything, I love learning, so if anything you guys want to comment and tell me about and that I missed or some important things I should tell you guys about, please let me know. And right now, this is Smograph, and I'll see you guys all later.